credit for leading me to it. I don't know what it is that we need, but he does. He does. Who are we? Now, verse 27, it talks about us on the inside. Our character. What makes us who we are. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due. All right? How many times we do that? How many times we do that? And what causes us to do that is what's on the inside of us. What do you consider to be good? Somebody passing you saying, good morning, good day, good evening. Is that considered to be good? In our response to that, well, good evening or good morning to you. We respond because what? It is due. It's good. Don't nobody have to speak to you. You can demand it. But you need to be mindful on how it comes across. What's on the inside? You know, we go to restaurants and we sit down there and we eat. You know, they bring the meal, and after everything is over, the waitress come over to bring you the bill. You look at the bill, you say, $50. Okay, you give them your credit card, you give them a check, or you pull out $50 and you give it to them. And then somebody say something about tip, I don't have to tip him. He's just doing his job. No. You don't have to tip him. But the reason why you tip is based on how he done his job. You see? Doing your job is bringing you a glass of water, throwing some spoons and forks in front of you, and putting your plate on the table. Coming back to see what you want, or if you raise your hand and you say, I want something, they bring it to you. That's doing the job. But when they come over and they lay your silverware on the table and casually place your food in front of you, is there anything that I can do to better your experience while you dine with us? Would you like for me to recommend something special? Is this a special occasion? Can we sing happy birthday to you? Oh, let me get you another napkin. The experience in being served versus being waited on. That's where the tip, you reward the individual based on their service, not based on them doing their job. What's on the inside of you? Do you go around thinking everybody owes you something? to say thank you? Or you just rather just nod your head? It's good to recognize when something that is done good. But only you think the things that are done good is just by your friends and your associates. They're the only ones that can do something good. What about your enemies? You know, I was watching a movie here a few months back, and the vice president tried to kill the president, and the president knew it. And after he found out he just couldn't get rid of him, he was tied to his leg, and he just couldn't shake him off. They were in a meeting, and the vice president brought up a pretty good idea, I thought. But because of what he did, that's some serious stuff. The president ignored it. But the crisis that he was in was greater than what this guy attempted to do. You ain't got to accept everything he says. You ain't even got to be around him. But if the occasion permitted, then you might want to listen. What's in you? When you have it within your means, your own power to do good things for others, how do you think that it got into your hands anyway? When you have problems doing things for your fellow man, you think about what Jesus done for you. And just maybe you can find on the inside to show some decency to somebody else that really don't deserve it. Because you showed it. Anybody in here deserve what Jesus done for them? All head bowed and all eyes closed. No. No. You know, just like working together in church. Some folks don't even give people credit for things they do in church. Not because of what they've done, it's just because of who they are. What's on the inside of you? To be or not to be? That might be the question. But the answer, helpful. To be or not to be helpful. To be or not to be encouraging. To be or not to be willing to accept the responsibility of you being your brother's keeper. What a world it would be when we refuse to withhold good things from others. And you know, a lot of us base our reason for not doing this on history. Well, you know, they ain't never done that for me. I can't remember when. But if you know Jesus the way you claim you know it, look like you ought to be the bigger person. Do it for them because they ain't done it for you. Find an excuse. do it for others. Not because they haven't done it for you, but just for the mere fact they haven't done it for you. And you know, it's so amazing to see the faces of folk to receive something that didn't expect to get anything. That's a joy, the look they have on their faces. Now that's the Lord. That's Jesus manifesting himself through somebody else. What do you say? The more you give, the more I give to you. You can't beat God giving. Shucks. Who was it? One man said one time, he was a rich man, but he fooled around and lost everything he had. Just lost it. And he said, Lord, I tell you what. If you ever give me what I had, I'm going to give you the 90% and I'm going to keep it. He was 10 times richer than he was before he lost the stuff. I'm going to give you the 90 and I'll keep it. It's what's on the inside. The things that you cherish the most, if it's not God, then it ain't yours either. You can't keep it because you don't allow something to make him look small. You know, what's on the inside of you? What's on the inside of you? When you know, sometimes you don't get on all thrusters. When you know, you realize that you ain't at your best at all times, you need some help. You need help. When you don't know everything, you need help. And when you get it, you want to keep it. You don't withhold nothing good from anybody. And then we look at verse 28. That's on the outside. That's on the outside. How you deal with people. Your neighbor come to you and say, look, man, I'm in need. I got to have it today. And you have it within your grasp. You tell it, come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. He says he needs it today. You got it. And you tell him, come back tomorrow. If he needs it today, he's going to continue to look for it, and somebody else will be blessed by giving him what he needs. So why would he come back tomorrow when he already got what he asked you for the day before? How we deal with people on the outside. When you know, if you got a partner and they be depressed, stress all the time. You don't go to it with no bad news.
All right.
You know, every time you talk to them, you doom and gloom. You know that. You already know that way. You already know it. You've been knowing it for years. You don't give them more burdens. That's just like, homeboy, he got married and everything, him and his lovely wife, walking out of the church, going to the car, and he slips and fell and break his leg. He looks over to his wife and says, darling, you've been with me. You took care of me when I broke my leg. And then, when I lost my job, you was with me. And you helped, took care of me. Got me over there. Then we were riding together. The car hit us. I broke both my arms. You was with me and we got together. But he said, but I just got to thinking about that thing. And I've come to the conclusion you must be bad luck. We have to be mindful. We have to be mindful of how we approach our friend. Y'all just get there. We have to be mindful of how we deal with our neighbors.
Lifestyle. Withhold not any good thing.
To be or not to be, that should no longer